Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Another week in the books, Monday morning. My goodness, October 17th. Where's the time going? My goodness. It's October 17th already. I don't want football season to end. Man, what a weekend. What a weekend. But before we get to the weekend of sports, Jeff, good morning. How are you?
Good. I'm really good. Hosted the college football show for you, filled in. And I'm going to be honest with you. What a weekend of college football games.
I heard the picks.
What a weekend. No, really. I mean, Tennessee, even on top of that, Utah. It was a lot of good games this weekend. Michigan State getting a win after losing their previous 4. Michigan blowing out Penn State. Then we had a good slate on Sunday, which we will get into, by the way, because you saw Adam's tweets, and we're going to discuss it. Very similar situations, but very different outcomes.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
And you brought some stats
today
with you, I see. So
we have a lot to talk about today. And I'm going to give you all a very fair warning.
Ooh.
This is not, when I say this show, today's show specifically, is not for the faint of heart. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. So before we get started, pull up your pants, button them real tight.
I got them buttoned.
Put on that big old cowboy buckle belt. And let's get going. Let's start off with the best team in Detroit right now, arguably, the Detroit Red Wings. Man, 2-0. 2-0 to start the year. I believe they play tonight. Is that correct, Fish?
Yep, they played tonight to the Kings. I told them they're going to make a deep playoff run. I feel it. They're 2-0.
God bless you. I mean, I'm not going to go that far yet, but the Red Wings look so damn good, and it's refreshing. Derek Lalonde, 2-0 to start his coaching career in the NHL and with the Detroit Red Wings. It's a young team. They're fast. They're exciting. They skate well. Offensively, they're creating a lot more chances than they did last year. Defensively, a lot more buttoned up. Alex Nedeljkovic, he gave up 2 goals. Looked pretty solid in net. You saw Husso with the shutout in the opener. I mean, my goodness. Let's just get that out of the way over the weekend. That was arguably the highlight of the weekend. Mm-hmm. Was the Red Wings starting the season the way they did. And you know what? All you can do is just say, thank you, Steve. That looks like a good hockey team to me. Don't need much more of a sample size to know that they're going to be pretty good this year. Now, are they going to be contenders? No, they're not. Maybe they are. Who knows? But Elmer Soderblom, debut goal, game-winning debut goal, I may add.
Man looked poised.
Notably, right after his parents' interview, which was funny as hell, that game was spectacular. The Wings hung in. They dominated the Canadians. The first game, second game, again, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, it all is clicking. It's all clicking. So lots to look forward to with the Wings. But, Jeff, I don't think any Detroit sports fan would have asked for a better weekend.
No, we needed this. We needed this from the Red Wings.
It was a clean sweep. Michigan State and the Red Wings won.
Yeah, it was great to see.
Thank God the Lions are on a bye week.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see next week. We'll get into it. But yeah, the Red Wings watching too, it's crazy. The first 2 games last year, if you just compare defensively, they gave up 8 goals in their first 2 games last year. They gave up 2 this year. And again, that speaks a lot to Derek Lalonde and that defensive mindset he brings to this team. And you're seeing an immediate impact. They're
100%.
getting better. Their team defense. Obviously, you could talk about the goalies, Husso in his shutout in the first game. But watching that first game, Soderblom just looked comfortable. And they played him. I mean, Lalonde went to him a lot in the game, too. Like, he had plenty of time on ice, and he looked tired, but he still scored the goal.
What's up with the flannel shirt?
I got it from Sam Flannel.
Yeah, I can tell.
You know what I mean? Just taking a little page out of his book. Just Lions on a bye week. I guess it brings some weird things out of him. You know what I mean?
All right, other great weekend stories. Michigan State, double overtime thriller. We'll get to that at around 8:30.
Oh.
Excuse me, 8:45 actually. That was a fun game to watch. Frustrating as hell, by the way. But that was a fun game to watch. And then, of course, Michigan dominating Penn State.
Which was unbelievable, by the way. I mean, that's
Quote,
all the credit.
A top 5 defense in Penn State. Looked like...
They babied them at the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was...
Wow.
It was insane.
So you saw Michigan State win. You saw Michigan win.
Yep.
It's been weeks since you could say that. Notably 4 or 5 weeks almost. And then you go to the NFL. Lions didn't play, so Lions fans avoided heartbreak, but they really didn't because you have the Atlanta Falcons, the Seattle Seahawks, just, teams that aren't all that good. Now sitting there at 3-3. You have the Jets and Robert Saleh at 4-2. It was a crazy weekend.
Yeah, it was. A lot
College
of upsets.
football, Tennessee on the upset versus Bama. Utah, the home win at the last second, going for 2. The balls on that play call, phenomenal. They did what they were supposed to do. I've never seen so many issues with clock management.
Yeah, me either.
Let alone the clock being paused, added time back on, yada, yada, yada. In that USC game, that was ridiculous. And then you saw the Yankees. You saw the Yankees, what's the word I'm looking for? You saw the Yankees tie up the series yesterday, right? So we get Game 5 Fish, tomorrow? Fish?
Yes,
Don't go
sir.
to Fish. Never mind.
What?
Yankees play tomorrow, right, Fish?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Listening to the stream on YouTube, making sure
Why?
everything sounds good.
Look,
You have
that's-
headphones on.
Oh, I know I have headphones on, but I still gotta make sure everything sounds good.
Yankees play tomorrow, right, Fish?
Yes, they play.
They do.
No, they play today.
Oh, they play today.
Yes, they had to play 4 games in a row because of the rain out on Tuesday. People were angry, up in arms,
God bless you,
because MLB
Fish.
doesn't schedule games correctly. So, what are you gonna
New
do?
York was winning.
What is
Jets,
it?
Giants. New York was winning.
Oh, wait. The Giants are 5-1?
They are 5-1.
Wait, the Vikings are 5-1? Oh, man. You know
First
who
year head
disappointed me
coaches?
this weekend,
Oh,
actually?
God.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
To give
were
up
your team.
that amount of yards, to give up 5 straight scoring drives in the third and fourth quarter to the Colts, who have been anemic on offense all year.
And they scored 6 last week.
You know me, I was high on the Jaguars before the season. You can label it down to youth, but Trevor Lawrence doesn't look good.
No.
I argue if he's playing at 20, 30% better, they're probably 3-2, probably.
Yeah.
But regardless,
That game they lost to
Jacksonville
Houston was ridiculous, too.
Jacksonville, too young right now. They look inexperienced as hell. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Man, we got a jam-packed show. Let's go through it. Michigan, Penn State coming up in just a bit, about 4 or 5 minutes. Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions under the microscope after a bye week, which is odd. But we got to talk about it. Michigan State and Wisconsin's double overtime thriller at 8:45. Top of the hour. We're going to go to you people. You, the people. Are you, Detroit Lions fans, happy with Dan Campbell and the team's progress so far? We did a Twitter poll last night over at the Woodward Sports Twitter. The results were revealed top of the hour. 9:15 we'll go around the NFL. 9:30 we got to ask the tough questions around here. Do you, Lions fans, and do you believe that the Lions will regret not hiring Robert Saleh? Then, of course, fantasy football, Monday Night Football. You know it. It's a jam-packed Monday. I can't wait to talk about it. But before we get into Michigan, Penn State, I promised you guys I would bring something on Monday. And I would have something for you that would change your perspective on Dan Campbell. Now, I pulled a list of 22 head coaches. At random, by no specific order or trait, I really just went off of the top of my head. Coaches that I deemed successful, middle of the pack, and not successful at all. And I compiled their first 22 games they've ever coached in the NFL. And I said, you know what, where does Dan rank? Because, I'm sure there are coaches that have won only 4 games in their first 22 and ended up being successful. So I went and pulled up Andy Reid. Andy Reid back in the Philly days, 8-14. Bill Belichick and the Cleveland Browns, 9-13. Kyle Shanahan, right? Kyle Shanahan struggled year 2 because he had no quarterback, no George Kittle, no defense. They were all hurt. 7-15. Nick Sirianni, he doesn't count, 14-8. I guess you want to count him, up to you. Robert Saleh, 7-15. Sean McDermott, 11-11. Mark Vrabel, 11-11. Matt Patricia, 8-13-1.
Oh gosh.
Matt Rule, 8-14. Matt Rule, who was just fired, by the way. Joe Judge, 7-15. There are only 2 coaches on this list that have 4 wins through 22 games. And one of them didn't even coach 22 games. He got fired last year, David Culley. You know who the other one is? Marty Morningwig. Detroit Lions fans, you should all be very familiar with this.
Very familiar.
You know who else is just as bad as Marty Morningwig? You know what company Dan Campbell belongs to? He belongs to Freddie Kitchens, Marty Morningwig, Rod Marinelli, Pat Schumer. That's who he belongs to. Through 22 games. That's who Dan Campbell belongs to. Not an 8-14 team that's up, having a second up-and-coming season. Look at Robert Saleh, 8-15 now.
Right.
4-2 his second year. Look at Arthur Smith, 10-13. 9-13 through his first 22.
See, Arthur's probably the big one for me because I think roster.
You're comparing the same team basically.
Right.
Both full rebuilds. We all acknowledge it. No franchise quarterback.
Yep.
No insane amount of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, the Falcons are pathetic.
Right.
10-13. Makes sense.
That's the big one.
Make it make sense. Remember, by the way, Dan Campbell leading the NFL since he's been in charge in 4th down attempts. And again, I could look past this record, by the way, because there are a few coaches that you're not too far off away from, right? Kyle Shanahan, 7-15, right? Andy Reid, 8-14, right? But you know what? Just absolutely, I draw the line there.
In-game decision-making, for me.
Well, first of all, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan came with coordinating experience.
Right.
You saw a bright future for them. Dan Campbell, we didn't know who the hell he was prior to the past season.
Tight ends coach, assistant coach.
On top of it, to your point, if he's not making the amount of awful in-game decisions that he makes as frequent as he does, we're not talking about him. Dan Campbell doesn't continue to make mistake after mistake after mistake. No one's talking about him right now. Lions are either 2-3 or 3-2. You're feeling confident about your football team. And that's it. It's a good story. Lions are on track. They're doing good. They're taking the next step in their rebuild. But no, Detroit, you don't get to have that. You don't get to have that. Nope. You have a coach who belongs to Marty Morningwig, Rod Marinelli, Freddie Kitchens. What do you guys think of Adam Gase? Bum, right? Would you agree? You remember Adam Gase?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think his record was through 22?
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say more than Dan Campbell. He has more wins through 2 years.
Give me a number. Through 22 games.
Oh, through 22.
Adam Gase. And we're talking about a really bad coach.
8-14.
8-14. Fish, what do you think Adam Gase's record was through 22 games?
8, 9, 10 wins.
14-8. That shocked me. That shocked me.
Wow.
I know, because it ended up being awful after that.
14-8.
Yeah, that shocked me.
That's a good 2-year start.
Oh, man. Well, look, let's take a quick break. When we get back, Michigan dominate Penn State. And you know what? I got a bone to pick with Jim Harbaugh.
Oh.
I have to have an honest conversation about Jim, because I only want to do this one time. And I don't ever want to have this conversation again. So we'll get to Jim Harbaugh, Michigan's dominant performance over Penn State. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Odds Trader.
Well, guys, Monday Night Football is on tonight. And, well, it is the Broncos playing, which is a disappointment to many. You can still place your bets at oddstrader.com because it's the #1 site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. Go to oddstrader.com right now and find out your best bet.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit. But we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Join the Pepper Club because, guys, winter is approaching. You're not going to be able to get outside and tan naturally. So go to Chili Peppers Tanning. Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They will beat all competitors by $5. Don't forget to pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Kale Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations. And more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan, go Wings!
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Michigan dominate Penn State in a 41-17 win. They showcased their ability to just control, dominate the line of scrimmage. Phenomenal. I can't believe I'm saying this. The defense looks better than last year. And that was a defense that fielded Dax Hill, Hayden Hutchinson, David Ajabo. Jesse Minter's doing a hell of a job in his first year. They were able to transition and keep the same system. Minter and McDonald from the same system, so that was friendly to Michigan. But you know what? I just wanted to clear a few things up on Jim Harbaugh. You know, I noticed a few things over the weekend. We talk a lot, not only here, just in general, national, local, whoever it is, even the fan base. We talk a lot about Michigan opening up their offense, right? Having to win a certain way, throw the ball more, get JJ McCarthy out in space,
right?
Being able to win in different ways. I'm done with Jim Harbaugh. I'm done questioning him. I am.
No, yeah,
honest to God, I'm done. Because this is a head coach who just continues to find ways to win. That's it. That's all he does. All Jim Harbaugh does is win. And whether it's from Michigan fans themselves, the media, since he got here till about last year before they finally won the Big Ten, it was Jim can't win the big games, yada, 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 Jim's fault, Jim this, Jim that, da-da-da-da-da. What I see is a head coach who gets his team up more often than not, that get up and go win football games. That's what I see. And I'm not having any Jim Harbaugh talk this morning. Harbaugh is now 68-24 as the Michigan head coach. 74% win percentage. Since 2015. Do you know what coaches are either at the same number in terms of win percentage or higher in the big conferences?
I'll say, let me get it. I'll take a guess.
Take a wild guess.
Lincoln Riley?
I'm not going to answer whether you're right or not.
I'll say Saban, Riley, and I'll throw maybe Day up there too.
Ryan Day?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't include Day because he's only 45, 48 games in, something along those lines.
So I'll say Riley, Saban, and Dabo Swinney.
You got 3 of them. Well done. You're missing 2. Think about this. And Michigan fans and everybody at home, I want you to pay very close attention to this list because just like I brought up Dan Campbell belonging to Marty effing Morningwig, I present you who Jim Harbaugh belongs to since becoming the Michigan head football coach. Urban Meyer, Dabo Swinney, Lincoln Riley, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart. That's it. That is Jim Harbaugh. That is his list. That is who he belongs to. Jim Harbaugh belongs to the list that features Urban Meyer, Dabo Swinney, Lincoln Riley, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Ohio State, Clemson, Oklahoma/now USC, Alabama, Georgia. Congratulations, Michigan. That's where you belong. With your head coach playing the way he does. Oh, has he turned JJ into a game mat? Who cares?
Finding ways to win.
JJ McCarthy's doing just fine. And the fact that he hasn't even hit his stride yet is amazing. And that you're 7-0.
Right.
You have a legitimate Heisman candidate, in my opinion, in Blake Corum. Which you called very early on, by the way.
Yeah.
So all I see is a coach who continues to win, and he doesn't care what anyone has to say. Oh, well, Jim, you can't run the ball against Penn State. Bitch, watch me.
400 yards later.
400-plus yards. Jim, you got to unlock the offense. Bitch, watch me. I'm going to dominate the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. And we are going to go into a top 10 undefeated matchup. We're going to dominate Penn State 41-17. Wow. You know what Michigan are, Jeff?
I know
Michigan are legit national contenders.
I agree.
I see you're trying to switch sides because your team sucks balls. That's fine.
Shut the fuck up and mute your mic. I'm trying to do a show here.
I know,
mute your mic.
But you're
Mute your
switching
mic.
sides.
Mute
That's
your
fine.
mic. Mute your mic.
You
Shut
said
the
you're going to
fuck
be
up.
Real State fan.
Shut up, Fish. Shut up.
Proved out to be great.
Just shut up. Mute your mic.
Okay.
Trying to do a show here.
I know.
From the top
Trying to do a
ropes.
show. Shut up.
Okay.
Michigan are legit national contenders. And this doesn't come out of, oh, well, you're just saying that, Adham. Michigan have one of the more impressive wins in college football. At home, Penn State undefeated matchup. They dominated them.
Top 10 team.
Tennessee now, you saw the new AP poll, by the way. Rightfully so.
This should be number 1. Yeah.
I still think Ohio State's 1, but they put Georgia up there fine. Ohio State 2, Tennessee 3, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Michigan 4, or is it vice versa? I could be wrong.
I have to
Excuse
double
me.
check, but
Do double check for me. But
Yeah.
long story short, Jeff, and where I'm going with this is Jim Harbaugh belongs to Urban Meyer, Dabo Swinney, Lincoln Riley, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart. That's who he belongs to. I think I'm done questioning how Michigan play football. And if you really date back to the early Jim Harbaugh days, he dealt with an Urban Meyer who I believe was 82-9. Or 90-9, something along those lines, at Ohio State. Which means they barely lost a game a year. Think about that. Just over a game a year. 1.3, 1.4 a year. That's ridiculous. That's what Jim Harbaugh had to deal with. And you know what he's still doing? He's still going out and winning 10 games a year. So for all the talk about Jim Harbaugh underachieving Michigan, he continues to find ways to win. He belongs to an echelon of coaches that are at the top of their game at the moment. And two of which are two of the 3 greatest coaches of all time in Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. That's who Jim Harbaugh belongs to. I have no questions about Michigan.
And I could even argue without the type of recruits those other teams are getting. And I think Jim deserves credit. For me personally, I was a little skeptical on calling Michigan a national championship contender until what I just saw Saturday. Listen, I got to admit, this team looks like a legitimate national title contender. And if you look around college football, a lot of teams are vulnerable. And I think that's what Michigan has avoided so far. They have Michigan State off a bye week, which we assume they're going to take care of business. It really comes down to that big game at the end of the year in Columbus, which I think they do have a legitimate chance to beat Ohio State. I know Michigan fans were confident beforehand, but I had to see it. And I saw it against Penn State. Dominated time of possession, rushing for over 400 yards. The fact that you didn't need JJ to throw for 300 yards is a good thing, to me at least. I mean, it's a part of his development, just stringing him along, not allowing him to single-handedly lose games. Just go out, run the football, and win. Find ways to win. And Jim has done that. Defensively, though, the biggest question for me to say they're better than last year is I got to see him against Ohio State, because what I saw last year with this defense against Ohio State was different. Able to the pressure they were able to get. I got to wait and see, but you're onto something with that defense.
They look better than last year,
though. They look
though.
more complete, to me at least.
Sanistril, him playing the way he is, he's arguably their best corner.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And they got freshmen out there too that are playing well.
Michigan are very deep defensively. I think they're better than last year. We keep talking about Ohio State, and rightfully so, by the way. I think they are the best team in the country. But I'm not writing off Michigan from going to Columbus for the first time since the year 2000 and beating Ohio State. I'm not writing it off. Do I think they do? Let's address it when the time comes. You would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I'm still saying Ohio State probably. But Michigan looked damn good. They've got Michigan State, not this upcoming week, but the week after.
They got a bye week.
They'll probably murder Michigan State. You're looking at a Michigan team that's probably going to run the table up until Ohio State. And if I'm the college football playoff committee and they lose a close game, well, damn it. Because now I got to decide between a potential 2-loss conference Pac-12 champion,
right,
a 1-loss Big 12 champion, maybe. Maybe. What do I do with Tennessee, Bama, Georgia? You ever want to talk about a year expanding the playoffs? It'd be nice to have 8 teams, let alone 12 right now. Because you're feeling really good about the top 6, top 7, top 8.
Yeah, it's deep right now. A lot of teams you can make the argument for. Especially now that Alabama just lost. I mean, you have a good 6 teams you could make an argument for, legitimately, especially after what Clemson just did this weekend, too. They're undefeated as well. So it's going to come down to those big matchups. But you're right. I think they'll both be undefeated. Ohio State and Michigan heading into Columbus. Like, they'll both be undefeated. And
so just to go over the rankings, by the way, the AP poll. Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Tennessee 3, and I think rightfully so.
Yeah, they deserve that.
You beat Bama. You're jumping up in the polls. You were 6th last week going in. I mean, that is an impressive win. It's probably the best win in all of college football. 4 Michigan, 5 Clemson, rightfully so. Bama 6. This is what kills me.
I think it's a little harsh. Just a little bit.
I don't. What kills me is that Bama dropped only 3 spots.
Well, you think it's not harsh enough?
No, I don't, because the reality is they still have every opportunity to go and get into the playoff based on this scenario.
Okay, are they in front of Ole Miss, TCU, UCLA?
I would put
Syracuse.
I would drop them to 7 at most.
Okay.
If Alabama,
I'm not really complaining about how far they dropped. What I'm complaining about is they have every opportunity still, which is odd to me, given their schedule, to go out and make a run.
Yeah.
Especially if they beat Georgia.
Well, they don't play, I think, in the title game?
Yeah, they'll play them in the title game.
They play them in the title game. And
well, look, I mean, they got Mississippi State coming up in a few weeks, or excuse me, this week. They have LSU on the road, Ole Miss on the road.
That's going to be a good game.
And then Auburn at home at the end of the year. I don't see Bama making it. I don't. You got some tough matchups, but college football, what a weekend of college football. It was amazing. It really was. Unbelievable.
Can I talk to some idiots, and actually idiots we work with, who are saying, oh, college football is not, you remember that, Jeff, college football is not very good. I'm not watching, you know who's going to win every week. Did you know who's...
Well, I was in a
Sam Stick Day.
We were in a dispute with Stick about would you rather watch the Commanders and Bears last week
versus college football
this week of college football, and he told me he'd rather watch the Bears and Commanders.
Well, he said he'd rather watch any NFL.
He said, I'll take it. It's NFL football. I'm like, I respect that, but no. And we saw this weekend play out. It was arguably the best week so far of college football. So, listen, got to appreciate it. I enjoyed every second of it.
I mean, he's not allowed to watch Michigan Ohio State, so we're banning him from watching it. We're locking him up.
Well, look, let's take a quick break. When we get back, Dan Campbell, the Detroit Lions, coming off a bye week. Somehow, some way, there's always a reason. There's always something that happens where it's a Monday. You'd think of previewing Dallas, no. Now, we got to talk. We have to have an honest conversation about the Lions, Dan Campbell coming off the bye week, getting players healthy, Pascal maybe returning, yada, yada, yada. We'll get to all this in just a second, but before we do, I have to tell you about our good friends over at Planet Fitness. We will be broadcasting live from Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights on Wednesday, October 26th. You'll be able to win prizes like Michigan versus Michigan State tickets with 1 free year of the Black Card membership, a signed McCarty and Braylon Edwards jersey. Join today in club or online by visiting them at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a big project coming up? Well, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, 8:31 on a beautiful Monday morning. Jeff, the Lions didn't play this weekend. And we're not going to do the meme, oh, they lost to the bye week. We're not doing that.
That gets out every single bye week.
Probably one of the most annoying traditions that goes around the NFL that time of year for the Lions. But whether you think it's fair or not, in my opinion, the reality is, this weekend is another example of how teams around the league are able to find ways to win football games consistently, and the Lions don't. And look, let's just start with the coaches that were hired during Dan Campbell's tenure, right? So guys that were hired the same offseason as Dan Campbell. Nick Sirianni. Now, let's take Nick Sirianni and Brandon Staley with a grain of salt.
Yeah, because they got different
Brandon
rosters.
Staley walked into Justin Herbert.
Right.
He has no excuses. We're going to push him to the side.
Yeah.
But Nick Sirianni, last I checked, Jalen Hurts was not a franchise quarterback when he walked in. There were a ton of question marks. And you know what Nick Sirianni has turned Jalen Hurts into? Looks like a franchise quarterback. Granted, the defense was better. Granted, there were a lot of pieces there. But you have to put things into perspective. Right. Sirianni showed up and shut people like me up who were like, hey, I don't know about Jalen Hurts. Oh, no. Jalen Hurts looks like the guy. He looks like a guy you can build your team around for the next 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni did that, so I don't want to undermine him and not give him any credit for being 15-8 through 23 games. You look at Robert Saleh, poor start last season. Flip of a switch, 4-2.
And Zach Wilson doesn't...
3-0 on the road.
It's not like he's...
Zach Wilson sucks. He doesn't even have a damn quarterback.
Right.
Zach Wilson, what, 10 of 18, 110 yards?
Yeah, he's a game manager.
Barely if that.
Yeah.
Barely if that. Imagine, they go on the road and beat the Packers without a passing touchdown. Think about that. You beat Aaron Rodgers on the road. And they hold Aaron Rodgers to 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Quinn Williams. Oh, my God.
Not bad. And then there's the Atlanta Falcons, who under Arthur Smith are 10-13 now. 10-13. The Atlanta Falcons.
I can't believe
were
that
a day one, quote, day one rebuild.
Complete
just like
rebuild.
the Detroit Lions. They're 3-3 right now. The Seahawks, who were in the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud conversation, we all remember this? They're 3-3. They're 3-3. Are they 4-2? One of the two. I believe 3-3. The Seahawks.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though. They might be 4-2.
They're 3-3. You're correct.
Thank you.
In front of the Cardinals in the NFC West, which I would have never predicted.
So here are all these teams overachieving, and then we get to my favorite person, Mr. New York G-Man himself, Brian Daboll. 5-1. 5-1 through his first 6 NFL games. You know how many times he's gone for it? On fourth down?
I got it right here. Not through the season, but this week. I'm assuming
zero this week.
Yeah, 0 this week.
4
in the season.
On the entire season.
Wow.
You know what he's on pace to do? He's on pace to go for it on fourth down 12 times over the next 24 games. Dan Campbell has gone for it 59 times in his first 22 career games.
Jesus.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's easy to hide behind the record and say, well, Adam, it was a rebuild. They're supposed to lose a lot of games. Okay? How you're losing, how he's coaching is more of a problem.
That's my issue.
And that's why I think people forget here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Dan Campbell if they're losing games close. The talent wasn't there.
Right.
Flip of a coin.
Right.
Just a bounce of a ball. You're losing because you have a head coach who sits at the table now 1-4, and more so than his record, his continuous questionable decisions, and his ability to make in-game decisions, along with clock management, you name it, game management overall, is horrendous. That's the problem with Dan. It's not even his record.
Bingo. It's not the roster.
It's not the roster. It's his decision-making that has this conversation being a thing.
And it worries me.
Because if they were 2-3, it's a quiet bye week. We're going into Monday. Hey, Dallas is coming up. Here are the players you're getting back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But no, you're 1-4. And he continues to shoot your team in the foot. That's what he continues to do. Not so much the record. But you want to go back? Of everybody on this list, who does Dan Campbell belong to? Think about it. I told you Jim Harbaugh belongs to Urban Meyer, Dabo Swinney, Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Kirby Smart. Who does Dan Campbell belong to? Marty Morningwig. Congratulations, that's your company.
Yeah.
Kills me, Jeff.
It's crazy, too, because I just want to look back at the games. And between the Jets, Falcons, Giants, Steelers, and Seahawks combined, they were 1 for 2 on 4th down. That's 5 teams this week. All teams that were underdogs that won. And it's not even about the roster. I get it. The Lions defensively don't have... And the Falcons I'll leave out, because the Falcons, I think, are the closest to the Lions. I think that's the fairest argument. But the decision-making. How can I trust Dan when this roster gets talent is my worry. It has nothing to do with, yes, the roster isn't good. How many players on this Lions defense would start on opposing teams? I'm with you. But look at the Falcons. How many players on that team would start on other teams defensively? Probably a handful, just like the Lions. So it's tough, and I'm with you. I think it's more so his in-game management and his decision-making rather than, well, they don't have the roster the Jets do. Yeah, defensively, you may be correct, but I'm telling you right now, I watched the Jets on their 40-yard line, 4th and 1, they punt.
On the road?
Yeah.
Against Green Bay?
Wait, Adam, they're the underdog. They should go for it, right? They don't feel like they have a chance to win.
Jeff,
be aggressive.
Robert Saleh.
Be aggressive.
Well, Robert Saleh has that defense, Jeff, playing pretty well, right? So you can't use that example because they have a defense and Detroit doesn't. Little did I know Seattle even had a defense. Yeah. They held Kyler Murray.
The Falcons beat
the
49ers.
Falcons to, 9 points?
Yeah, the Falcons.
The Falcons beat the 49ers, only gave up, 14
and
points?
That defense, I'm telling you, man.
There's a new excuse every week. And here, it's in the chat to this day. Where is it? From Steve. Relax, Adam. Let's have this chat after next season. Or after the season, excuse me. I'm still on board with the 3rd season for Dan. Why? All of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat, all of you in the chat right now, tell me why. Give me one reason that is football related. Outside of, I think he deserves a 3rd year because Rome wasn't built in a day. It's the NFL.
Right.
The Giants were a rebuild. Brian Dable took over Daniel Jones. Guys, you know what? We're going to do this right now. I didn't want to bring this up. I really didn't. I have to do it now. You guys are really pissing me off. All right, guys, you ready? The New York Giants.
Oh, yeah, Captain.
You ready for this? All of you do realize, by the way, that the Giants don't have a franchise quarterback. They don't have any capable wide receivers. They were 31st in points scored and 31st in yards on offense last year. And on defense, they were 23rd in points allowed, 21st in yards allowed on defense. That was the Giants. That was a rebuild.
Yeah, abysmal.
No franchise quarterback.
Yep.
An average offensive line. Awful wide receivers. Saquon Barkley, Adam. Saquon Barkley. He's always hurt. Nobody even considered him as a luxury or a talent piece on the team, given his injury history. You go to the defensive side of the ball, Dory Jackson, right? You have Aziz.
Yeah.
You have Dexter Lawrence. You have Leonard Williams, who hasn't played,
Rookie
2-3 games this year.
Thibodeau.
Kayvon Thibodeau, big strip sack over the weekend, by the way. All that, and that was a successful situation for Dable to walk in and make them 5-1. The Giants have no reason to be 5-1, but they are. Why? You want to tell me talent? Is talent the reason?
I think partly, but not completely.
How?
Because I do think the Lions, if you look at their defense, they are significantly less talented than all those teams. But coaching matters because
the
these guys
Giants on offense are significantly less talented than the Lions.
That's where I was going to. They play above their... I think their best receiver, the Giants, had 40 yards.
The Giants are the first NFC team ever in the history of the National Football League to beat Lamar Jackson. They did that yesterday. In a game where they were down and out the whole game.
Yeah.
They somehow found a way to win. They somehow found a way to force a turnover. They somehow found a way to capitalize on their red zone trips and put 7 on the board, unlike the Lions did the week prior against the New England Patriots. That's what the Giants did. And they're 5-1. And they're not even legitimate contenders. It blows my mind that they're 5-1. But why? Because Brian Dable, and if you take Dan Campbell and you throw him in New York, and you swap Dable and you put him in Detroit, you know what the Lions are going into the bye probably? They're probably 3-2. And you know what the Giants are? They're probably 0-6. 1-5 at best.
And the argument, this is the argument that frustrates me, and I want to hear your opinion on it. Dan Campbell goes for it because he can't trust his defense. So, in my opinion, I'm just thinking out loud here. If you don't trust your defense, why are you going for it on your own 40, on your own 30, putting your defense in a compromised position? If you don't trust your defense, make the opposing quarterback, Bailey Zapp, for example, a rookie 4th rounder, go 80 yards on you. Why are you giving shorter fields to your terrible defense? That's my question. So a lot of things I'm concerned about, and I think coaching and in-game decision-making is one of those things for Dan. It has nothing to do, for me at least, with the talent. I accept they're not very talented defensively. But AG, he's not getting these guys in positions to succeed. I mean, that's what I've seen over the course of the last couple weeks. You could argue the Patriots, they bend, don't break defense. But when your coach is going for it on 4th and 9 when you're down 6, instead of taking the points and making it a 3-point game and changing the momentum of the game.
Thank you.
They go for it.
We're not talking about
Scoop
this.
and score 13-0 the entire game. The complexity of the game changes.
You're just not talking about this guy right now if he's coaching like a normal head coach would. I don't need somebody to reinvent the wheel. Play conventional football every once in a while. It won't hurt you.
All we ask.
Punt the football. Make them move 70, 80, 90 yards downfield. What a hard concept. No, we're the Detroit Lions, and we're coached by Dan Campbell, and we're going for it at our own 38, 39-yard line. You're damn right we are, because we like it. And you know what? That's all I really have for you on Dan. That's it. All I have for you this morning is you will continue to make excuses for this man, even though through 22 games he belongs to one person in Detroit Lions history. You know who that is? Marty Morningwig. That's what Dan Campbell is. Claps a lot on the sideline, motivates.
I didn't see that.
Gets everybody going. I didn't see, critical thinking.
Well, I didn't see that motivation against the Patriots. Apparently to DJ Lang.
That's a whole different problem.
I mean, Lang said they were completely disengaged on the sideline. So, I don't know. There's a lot to unpack here, and I will not take or accept the injury excuse or the talent excuse. I won't. If Dan Campbell was playing the most fundamental football up until this point, and he made every decision correct, or at least for the most part, we could sit up here and at least argue, you know what? Maybe there isn't talent, but this is more than talent. This is football IQ. I mean, this is more than that.
Breaks my heart.
And I get it. He's a great guy.
Breaks my heart.
Like your famous saying, he makes your balls feel good. But got to win some football games, or at least put your team in position to win football games, like you had against Minnesota.
Funny as hell.
You're going for it all game. You don't decide
Funny
to go
as
for
hell.
it in
And
the
then
biggest
there's
moment of the game.
And then there's
I
dumb
mean, it's-
motherfuckers like Shad in the Woodward Sports chat. You know, we get these guys every once in a while. He said the Giants and Jets had money. That's a lie. Only the Jets did. The Giants did not. The Giants were handcuffed because of the Kenny Galladay money.
Them, yeah.
So do me a favor. Just shut the hell up. Don't comment in my chat. Stupid stuff. Like, at least do your research if you're going to come after me or Jeff. Do me a favor. Don't waste our time. What a goddamn idiot. Goddamn idiot. What a concept in the NFL. Playing above your level. Overachieving. Being ahead of schedule. What a goddamn concept. What the hell are you doing, Fish?
I am very confused.
You good, buddy?
I'm great.
All right, we're going to go to break. When we get back, holy hell. Michigan State double OT thriller. My goodness. Michigan next on the schedule for Michigan State. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be great. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Frog.
Well, guys, you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print one out for you on the spot. So go to Big Frog and Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or you can visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Time to talk about Swiss, not Hammond Swiss, Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can help you save money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket cost to insure your children. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected, especially if you're watching the Lions this Sunday.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show.
We're back.
8:48. Thank you to everybody joining us over at WoodwardSports.com. To all of you in the Woodward Sports chat, we see you. Oh, should be fun. Should be fun. How about those wings? Yeah, man. Red Wings are good. Thank God, watching a winning team.
Watching on Friday, they have 25 shots in the first period.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
that was great. So let me ask you guys this before we get to Michigan State and their double overtime thriller against Wisconsin, okay? Let me just ask you this. Throw it up in the Woodward Sports chat. Put it up as a pin poll. My question to all of you is, do you believe the Lions will finish the season 5-7? Yes or no? Simple question. Will they finish the next 12 games 5-7? That's my question. We'll let the people answer. We'll give our comments at the top of the hour, okay?
I sure hope so.
But I want to get it out there. I want to put it in the chat. You guys tell me, do you believe the Lions can go 5-7? And I'll talk about why that's important with Jeff at 9 o'clock. But let's get started. Michigan State, thank God.
They needed
I'm losing my mind watching Michigan State. They have sucked all year, and that really didn't change against Wisconsin. You saw the secondary just, what do you do with that? It was a free interception, and they drop it. It was a, hey, we don't want to be here anymore. Win the game. Nah. Nah, we don't need that. Winning? Nah. Who wants to do any of that? But they won. Thankfully, they won. My goodness. Good to see them back in the win column after a 4-game losing streak. That was rough. Peyton Thorne played a hell of a game. Keon Coleman, hell of a game.
Jaden
Reed, a hell of a game.
They got to the quarterback.
The offense showed up, notably in the passing game. The defense, I mean, look, Jacoby Windman, I know we're not talking about Michigan State much because they suck, rightfully so. He's got 6 forced fumbles this year.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous. He's been damn good. Damn shame that the secondary sucks, but...
And it was good, though. Xavier Henderson came back, and it was the first time he played, I believe, since Western. So they had another piece of that secondary back. A guy who's has some reps under him. So good for Michigan State. I think this is one of those wins where they needed it. And Peyton Thorne showed up perfectly. They still can't run the football, but they're averaging, 2.8 yards per carry. But on top of that, Peyton Thorne, man, he played well. 21 for 28, almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then he had a Jaden Reed, by the way, touchdown pass. That's what you want to see, man.
I was at a restaurant with my wife during the game.
Oh, you were.
And like a little kid, I was sitting there in the booth, just having a conversation. And I look at the corner of my eye. I'm watching,
help yourself.
Focusing on the wife, but doing this at the same time, give you my attention, give you my attention, Michigan State. Come on. Give you my attention.
Yes!
Please don't fuck this up.
Right in the middle of the conversation.
And
were you those people that scream when they score a touchdown,
No.
and the whole restaurant looks at you?
No, never in public. I'll tell you what, though, I was miserable Sunday. I was under the weather. I was under the weather most of the week.
Eek.
Or excuse me, the weekend. And then my fantasy team in my big money league, I won in the Woodward league, so I'm good there.
Oh, sounds like you're bragging. Ooh.
Well, I have the best record in the league.
Ooh,
Sorry, Jeff.
best record in the league.
I just lost to Justin, man. Kyler Murray, you
Yeah.
stink.
Oh, well.
He stinks.
I picked up Deion Jackson.
Oh, you son of... Yeah, that
And
guy,
I still lost.
Oh, you serious?
Because I had St. Brown and Derrick Henry on the bye week.
Oh,
Kamara went
that's
off,
gonna hurt.
Deion Jackson went off. And guess who didn't? Terry McLaurin sucked. Dallas Goedert sucked. My defense sucked. Kyler Murray sucked. Blew it. I was projected to score 160 at one point on Sunday. I finished with 109.
Wow.
That's how bad it got.
Wow.
Yeah. Rough Sunday for me.
On WoodwardSports.com and chat thread, Southpaw Slab says, Jeff, it was Call of Duty week. That would explain why Kyler Murray...
When was Call of Duty released?
I'm not sure, but...
I think it was this past weekend.
So
was it?
That would explain Kyler Murray crap in the bed against the Seahawks.
Time to trade Kyler Murray, boys.
Call of Duty's out. We're screwed.
Oh, God.
Can I bring up something fantasy related?
What's up, Fish?
So, I don't care about my fantasy team. Never have, never will. I do it because it's fun, helping out the Woodward people. I was in Chicago this weekend, a little busy, forgot to check my team. 420, noticed there's 2 people on buys. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So I swapped the 2 people out and pick up other players. I feel like I just finessed the system. I feel like that's illegal what I just did. Is that completely normal? Like, I feel like at Sunday they should lock... If you have buys, they should just lock. Like, you shouldn't be able to move the buys to your bench for players you just picked up.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Like, for you don't care, but for me, Fish, that would mean everything.
Who was I playing? I was playing Chris, Young Sus on Woodward Heavyweights.
Did you beat him?
Well, I may, but I shouldn't even have a chance at winning. He was sitting there like, oh, this guy's got 2 buys, what a noob.
Then you ended up starting 2 guys.
I know, but I feel like that's illegal what I just did. I
Fish,
feel like I shouldn't
never
go
question
into my thing at 420, be able to change out people, buy people, and bring them in. And start the same day.
No, you're okay,
Seems
Fish.
a little suspect.
They should give you that chance.
Okay.
You don't want to lose. You want to beat Chris.
I know, okay, but if
that's all we do on the show is win. All right, fantasy.
But if they were on your team and I just dragged them up, that makes sense. But picking up players, being able to use them the same week,
you can do it.
Seems a bit like I'm twisting the line here.
Record?
2-3.
Oh, you're in there.
So
you're still in there.
I was worried I was 0-2.
Yeah,
but there's people that are like 0-5, 1-4.
Well, look, you know what doesn't make sense to me? My fantasy team in the Woodward Sports League. It's a 12-man league.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got this team. My team is Josh Allen.
Wow.
And I'm just going to name the notable
He
players.
played good yesterday.
Right? It's Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce.
It's insane.
That's my team. That's like my core 4. I don't know how. Like, you guys, I don't know what happened. I just appreciate it because what pick did I have? 7 or 6?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I had like 7. And somehow I got Justin Jefferson at 7 and then Kelsey on the turn.
You stole Kelsey right from my hands.
Yeah,
but it's okay. I got Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
it's okay. My top 3 are Chubb, McCaffrey, and Mark Andrews.
McCaffrey looks good this year, by the way.
Yeah, he's going to get traded. I don't know where, but we'll see.
Oh, God.
We'll see.
Awesome.
What are you, 5-1 in our work league?
Yeah, 5-1.
Okay, we're tied. I just lost. Now we're tied.
No, you were undefeated?
Yeah.
Really?
And then I lost to Justin.
I didn't know that.
Well, at least I'm expecting to lose
I'm
to
highest
Justin.
point scored now, so.
Oh, you son of a...
Yeah, sorry, babe.
It's all
right. It'll
okay.
be me and you in the final just like last year. That's just how it always works. Anyways.
Let's do it.
Let's wrap up Michigan State. Hell of a game. Mm-hmm. Good to see the offense rolling. Mel Tucker. What the hell happened at the end of the game, by the way, before overtime?
Yeah, questionable decisions. I mean, we got to call it out.
You go for it. I have no comment on that one.
Yeah.
I'm just happy they won the game.
Yeah, that's what matters. I think overall, no one's going to talk about it because they won. But yeah, again, I mean, this is one of those games where, and Braylon called this, by the way. Got to give credit. Braylon on Friday, I know he did start Noah Kim if crap hits the fan, and you didn't need to because Peyton Thorne played really well.
I don't want to hear Braylon talk about Michigan State.
Well, he did say they'd win because of desperation, and I think he was spot on in that. Overall, though, I want to ask you, from a guy who this season supporting State, you still give Michigan credit.
Debatable.
He is, Fish. I mean, he's been pretty realistic. He's been a realistic guy through the season. What shot do you give Michigan State in 2 weeks? Like, be honest with me right now. Come on. They scored. Come on.
All right. The truth is, they get a 25% chance.
Okay.
That's pretty fair.
Based on their history, right? 10 of 14. They're always up for this game.
They are.
I don't care what your record is during a season. When it's rivalry week, this is the game, right?
Yeah.
But Michigan are going to win that game. Come on, let's be serious.
Yeah. He's real. What do you think? Come on.
I'll give Michigan State a chance because of their history,
right?
Because of their ability to play up. They typically perform well as the underdogs.
They do.
Give me a break.
It's at the big house too, right?
Yeah, it's at Michigan. I picked Michigan for that reason.
Mauling them 41-10 or something.
I feel like that Michigan State, different story. But
even if it was at Michigan State this year, I'm still picking Michigan no matter what. I just am.
But it's closer if it's at Michigan State.
What is it?
The game's closer if it's at Michigan State.
I don't believe so. I think Michigan are so ahead of Michigan State, it doesn't matter.
You think it'll be a close game?
They could play in Columbus. They could play They could play at East Lansing, Ann Arbor. They could play in the Silver Dome. They can play anywhere. Michigan are way better. It's not even close. But let's take a quick break. When we get back, top of the hour, I want to get to the Woodward Sports chat. We put a poll in there. Make sure you vote. Will the Lions finish the rest of the season 5-7? 12 games left. Will they finish 5-7? We'll get to that in just a bit. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, tell them or yourself to head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Because, guys, it's the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12. They have the unlimited open play, or you could pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. You want to take you and your friends, you want to compete? Go to Fulling Warehouse. $2 mystery beer machine and full bar. Check it all out. FullingWarehouse.com.
All right, top of the hour. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Jeff, put put a poll in the chat. Will the Lions finish the rest of the season, 12 games remaining, 5-7? 70% of the good people at home say no. What does that mean?
Depressing.
So if they don't finish 5-7,
that's the minimum.
Let's say they finish 4-8, so they're 5-12. Let's say they finish 3-9, they're 4-13. Or excuse me, 4-13. That don't look good.
Maybe they'll have a tie like last year.
That's not looking good. I don't see the progress.
No.
And you know what?
No,
God bless him. One of my favorite people to listen to, Dan Orlovsky.
Me? Oh.
You guys want to hear what coaching sounds like? You ready for this one, Jeff? The New York Giants, after halftime, have outscored the following coaches and opponents 55-19. Mike Vrabel and the Titans, Matt LaFleur and the Packers, John Harbaugh and the Ravens.
Great coaches.
3 excellent coaches.
Yep.
They've outscored them 55-19 in the second half. Is that a coincidence, or is that coaching?
Good coaching makes adjustments, and those are good coaches.
Halftime adjustments. I could have sworn I didn't know what that was if you would have told me Dan Campbell was my coach.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
I've seen touchdown drives after coming out of halftime.
So clearly 71% of you, as of right now, the most up-to-date version of the poll, don't believe the Lions will go 5-7. So what is it? So we're going to take down this poll, and we're going to throw up another one. How many games will the Lions win for the rest of the season? 1, 2, 3, or 4+? Your call. We'll throw it in the chat.
Let's go look. I'm going to go look at the schedule.
1, 2, 3 games, or 4+.
Let's see.
You have 4 options to choose from. That's what you get. And you got Dallas on the road coming out. You've got Miami at home. You've got Green Bay, Chicago on the road, New York on the road, Buffalo at home, Jacksonville at home, Minnesota at home, the Jets on the road, Panthers on the road, Bears at home, Packers. So let's go game by game. Let's answer this while everybody at the Woodward Sports chat gives their answers. Excuse me. So again, will they win 1, or 2, or 3, or 4+? How many games will the Lions win the rest of the year?
Well,
I'm very curious what you think. So Jeff, let's go through the game. From what we know of these teams right now, injuries all being equal, nothing changes, right? What we know about the teams right now, do they win against the Dallas Cowboys on the road?
They don't.
Okay. Do they beat Miami at home?
No. They will, unless Skylar Thompson is playing, and maybe, but I don't think so. Miami has a better roster.
Tua likely back by then.
Okay, then yeah, no way. I'll be at the game.
Lions hosting the Packers.
I have them splitting with Green Bay.
So you have them winning that.
They can win it, but I'm not going to say they will win it. Let's just say it's a win.
Okay. Lions at the Bears?
I think they split with the Bears. So give me that one too. That's 2.
Okay. At the Giants?
I don't think so.
Home to the Bills?
I don't think so. No.
Home to the Jags?
No.
Home to the Vikings?
No.
On the road to the Jets?
I don't think so. No.
On the road to Carolina?
Maybe. I think they can maybe beat Carolina.
Okay,
that would be 3.
We'll give it to them. Lions hosting the Bears.
Out there, that's the loss. I think one of them is going to be a loss.
Okay, and then you have them losing to Green Bay because you want them splitting,
so that's
right?
3 for me.
So you gave them 3 more wins.
Yeah.
They are 4-13 based on your predictions.
It's not good. It's not good.
And what do we always try to bring up, right? Context. Context matters, dude. It really does. Like, I know a lot of 4-13 teams that, you know what, there are circumstances where I can justify it. For the Lions to be 4-13 at the end of the year, how do you justify keeping Dan Campbell? And let's go to the people. The people have answered. How many of the remaining games will the Lions win? The options were 1, 2, 3, or 4 or more.
Seems the chat agrees.
58% of you said the Lions will win 2 or 3 games. Think about that.
With the offense we've been seeing before New England. So
think about that.
You have that offense, you only win 2-3 games.
Of you think they'll win only 2 or 3 more games for the rest of the year. Talk about confidence in your football team. Oh, but it's a rebuild, right? It's always next year. Well, there was next year, Adam, and it's next year, and it's the year after. But the Jets are allowed to overachieve. The Giants are allowed to overachieve.
As if we're the only team in a rebuild.
The Colts,
right?
They suck. They find ways to win games. Seahawks, we're in the C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Bryce Young conversation.
Right.
They're 3-3.
Why is it that all these other teams in rebuilds can have quality wins? That's my biggest question. Like
the Lions have a quality win. Washington. Shut up, Jeff. You know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God.
Shut the hell up. That's why.
Something else, man.
So you end up with the number 1 pick, let's say, 4-13? Maybe not. Maybe there's
them in Houston.
There is Houston. They suck.
But you're right. They're in that conversation.
It's getting bad.
Because the teams that were supposed to be in that conversation are overachieving.
Well, I mean, there's only one other 5-loss team in the NFL right now. It just so happens to be an NFC team. I believe that's the Panthers. So they're probably getting the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, actually, I'd say the Panthers.
Lions, I would say 2 or picking 3rd.
Yeah.
And at that point, again, I can only tell you what I think and what I would do. Given the context that Dan Campbell continues to be a buffoon on the sidelines, continues to call games poorly, okay? And this team finishes with 4 wins, 3 wins, let's say, and they have the number 2 overall pick. You fire the coach. And you bring in an offensive-minded guy, or you promote the one that you already have. You figure that situation out. You go out and get a quality head coach who isn't going to throw away games because of his stubbornness, and you make a decision. All right, we want to draft the future quarterback of this franchise, or we're going to take the best player available and Will Anderson, or yada, yada, yada. Whatever that draft conversation is. You have those options. But you guys explain to me, under your theory, 76% of you believe the Lions will win 1 to 3 games for the rest of the year. Think about it. So based on your reality, would you fire Dan Campbell if they only won 1 to 3 games for the remainder of the year? Because you would be anywhere from a 2-15 to a 4-13 football team. Would you keep Dan Campbell for the 3rd year?
As much as I want to say context matters, I think it's still a conversation. I really do. Because, again, it depends how these games go. If they're in a lot of these games and for whatever reason, the lack of talent defensively, if Dan puts his team in the best position throughout the game and the defense or whatever happens, then you could give a pass. But even then...
Minnesota is the perfect example of that. You know why, Jeff? Because I could give a pass losing to Minnesota if you, A, went to seal the game by going for a first down, or B, punting and making Kirk Cousins drive 90 yards downfield in a game where Justin Jefferson was non-existent.
And I don't think they had any timeouts at that time.
0.
So,
and you did them a favor and called a timeout. And you know what happened after that timeout? They burned you for a touchdown.
When you were face-to-face with your players.
His decisions are what has him on the hot seat, not just the record. The record is a minute aspect compared to the decision-making he has. It's awful. And I always say this because I'm not saying fire Dan Campbell right now. What I'm telling you is there are legitimate concerns with his decision-making, his ability to manage a game. And on top of that, he belongs to one head coach through 22 games. Do you know who that is? Marty Morningwig.
Arguably the worst coach in Lions history.
That's who he belongs to. That's his company.
Yeah.
Not Robert Saleh, not Arthur Smith, not even Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll could lose the next 15 games.
Still have a better record.
And still have a better record than Dan Campbell. Think about that, Detroit. The New York Giants and Brian Daboll could lose the next 15 games, and he would still have a better record than your Detroit Lions did through 22 games. Think about that. You can digest that one. That's your reality. Sucks.
And
it was a bye week, too. Look, Saturday, It's kind of getting the prep ready in my head, man. A lot of Michigan, a lot of Jim Harbaugh,
Red Wings,
Michigan State, Red Wings.
Yeah.
Sunday comes, somebody took a frying pan and just
It
whacked me across the
ignited that
face.
fire in you to talk about
Eats
it on
my
Monday.
soul.
It does. I know. I get it. I love this comment in the chat. Lynn Dixon at WoodwardSports.com. Why not fire Dan Campbell?
You're not going to fire him right now.
They said they fired Jim Caldwell, and he had winning records.
You're not going to fire him right now. You can fire him at the end of the season or at Thanksgiving if they don't win from now till Thanksgiving. These are my options.
Yeah,
you
I
fire
agree.
him at the end of the
I
year,
agree.
or after Thanksgiving, you fire him once they get killed by the Bills. 72-10 on national TV, right?
But that's
yeah. You get killed by the Bills.
I don't think anybody
And then
would
you
win that
promote
game.
Ben Johnson. You give him the last 5-6 games. You say, "Here, kid, here's your chance."
If it doesn't work,
And if it doesn't work, you go hire a head coach. It's that simple. That's the plan. Because I don't have the confidence that he's going to turn it around. And no, not a win in Dallas or splitting the next 3 games, maybe 1 and 2. It doesn't change the fact that he's awful at managing games. And that when you need him most to make the correct decision, he fails you. That's all he does. So my recommendation is you fire him after Thanksgiving if they don't show improvement, and then you give Ben Johnson the rest of the year. Or they kind of somehow, some way find a way to win 4 games. They finish 5-12, and you cut bait at the end of the year. That's my recommendation.
You know what issue I have too, and I want to ask Lions fans this.
Go for it.
If you have a problem, and one of your biggest issues is the roster, what happens, let's say hypothetically, because we have not seen this, but let's say Dan Campbell takes you to a possible postseason. How can you trust Dan?
Can you not give him that? Can you
any
not?
advantage?
But why? Why? You should stop. We did this. We did this Friday.
What advantage?
Who has the better quarterback? Atlanta or Detroit? Who's got the better backfield? Who's got better wide receivers?
Detroit.
Who's got the better offensive line?
Detroit.
Who's got the better front seven? You would say 50-50. You'd probably lean Atlanta.
Maybe.
Secondary Atlanta. Secondary Atlanta.
Slightly. AJ
You
Terrell's
are
a
better
beast.
than them in a majority of cases. Yet somehow they're 3-3, 10-13 under their head coach, and you're sitting here at 1-4. Why? Is Arthur Smith blowing late game leads? Is he not punting to San Francisco? Is he not running and milking the clock and playing 4-minute offense? Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
With 8 minutes, 9 minutes left in the San Francisco game, up 2 scores. Oh, I saw the Falcons do that. Don't think I forgot what you did against Minnesota. They did it properly. They ran the clock. They wind it down all the way. In Detroit, we don't, and then we justify it and give the head coach every excuse in the book. Hilarious. Hilarious that through 22 games, your head coach belongs to Marty Morningwig. That's who he belongs to. 4-18 Marty Morningwig, 4-17-1 Dan Campbell. The same damn head coach through 22 games. That's your reality. And Michigan fans, and anybody who discredits Jim Harbaugh, he belongs to Urban Meyer, Dabo Sweeney. He belongs to Kirby Smart, Nick Saban. He belongs to Lincoln Riley. Those are his people. That is his group. He has earned the right to be along in since he became the Michigan football coach. That's who he belongs to. You want to talk about good coaches, good coaching? Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. You want to talk about a pathetic example of a head coach? Look to the Detroit Lions. It's right there.
I love this comment.
Oh, they play hard for him.
I love this comment. Super Saiyan Lions. Atlanta has the better defense, and it's not even close. Wow. Didn't know Atlanta had studs. I mean, could you name me how many players on that defense
I would say
start?
Grady, that's about it. And Terrell, AJ Terrell.
So those are 2.
Those are 2. Well, I thought Free Hefe was one of the best corners in the NFL.
I mean, and
Charles
Amani
Harris,
Warrior,
Michael Brockers.
Amani Warrior had like 6 interceptions last year. What happened to him? I mean, come on. Aiden Hutchinson, you could probably name 2 on the Lions.
He makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell. Oh, he touches me the right way. He speaks into my ear.
How do you not?
What a joke.
Think about it.
What a joke. And it pisses me off more than anything because this fan base is not a stupid fan base. They are the same.
Isn't that the
sports.
same
Shut
thing
the
about
fuck
Jim
up,
Caldwell?
Fish. Shut up. This is the same fan base that has seen the Tigers be successful, that has seen the Red Wings dominate the NHL, that have seen the bad boy Pistons, the going to work Pistons, 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. You've seen all your life, Detroit, what good organizations and teams look like. Yet somehow, some way, they're 1-4 right now. They meaning the Lions. And well, Dan Campbell, you got to give him the third year, Adam. You got to give him the third year. Oh. What a joke. What a joke. When we get back, we got to go around the NFL. Huge upsets over the weekend. The Steelers beat the Bucs. My goodness.
I was appalled.
By the way, my lock of the weekend, by the way, from Friday, Jets on the upset versus the Packers.
You were spot on.
So I hope all of you took it.
You were spot on.
I really do. Good. Having said that, I got to tell you about our good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience, and it's your last month, to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Tuesday, October 27th, join the Ermanni and Edwards show with Maz. Live in Dearborn, Braylon, Ryan, and Maz will be on site at Michael Phillips' Keller Williams office in Dearborn. Braylon will be doing meet and greets after the show at 4:30, and stick around for trunk or treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food trucks, costumes, and more, all from Michael Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams. Can't wait. I can't wait. 10 days away from that. What is that, next Wednesday, I believe?
I think it's next Thursday.
Next Thursday, thank you,
Because
buddy.
we got Planet Fitness on Wednesday.
Next Wednesday's Planet Fitness.
Don't forget.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. All right, well, look. Let's go around the NFL, Jeff. Let's start with the Steelers. Losing Kenny Pickett early in that game. Mitchell Trubisky comes in, and somehow, some way, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers find a way to win that game. I mean...
By the way, no TJ Watt. Multiple secondary players out.
Stop.
No, I'm not. This isn't about the Lions. I know you have PTSD from it. I'm just giving credit. That's all I'm doing.
Even if you do, you
have that.
It pisses me off.
I know.
It just does.
I know.
You're 100% right. But you know what? Everybody else in the Woodward Sports Chat and on social media and every Lions fan will say, they have this and they have that. We have nothing.
They still have a better defense, but still, they stepped up. Guys stepped up. Got to give credit. Beat the Bucs. This was my lock of the week. So
I was told I was
like
an idiot. By the way, I was told I was an idiot for having the Vikings in my top 5 in my week 6 NFL rankings.
Yeah, who? Oh, the Vikings.
I had them in the top 5. I had them at number 4. You know where the Vikings are right now?
They're damn good. First place in the NFC North.
Oh, I can't wait to get into our list tomorrow.
5-1.
Slinging that football around.
5-1.
5-1. Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Jets on the upset. Lambeau Field.
That was a very...
Sauce Gardner, by the way, the darling of Detroit, probably, after that cheesehead stunt he pulled off at the end of the game.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's legit.
Awesome.
He's legit.
That's a top 5 pick. Corner.
He's worthy. I mean, what a shock. You pick somebody in the top 5, you expect them to produce right away. Boy, what a surprise! Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner! Imagine You draft a player in the top 5, he plays well. Oh, a lost art here in Detroit. Jeff Okudah, free Hefe, walks around like he runs the bitch in Allen Park. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Patriots dominated the Browns. Bailey Zappi, is he the next Tom Brady?
Well, apparently
What the hell is going on? 600 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
What do you do
through 2 games?
What do you do if you're Bill?
You play Mac Jones. That's what you do. But you don't have a choice. But what the hell is that?
Yeah, I know.
They went from grooming Jimmy G to finding Bailey Zappi. I mean, I got nothing for you.
Hey, don't discount
With no wide
Western
receivers,
Kentucky.
by the way.
I know.
Devontae
Right.
Parker, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Henry.
Nothing special.
And it's Joe Judge and Matt Patricia dialing up the plays, for God's sake. You can't make this up. You can't. And
Joe Judge, Matt Patricia.
We talked about this team. You got to give them credit here. Atlanta, they beat San Francisco at home. Walk me through it, Jeff.
Incredible, by the way. Yeah, I mean, this is a game where, again, Jimmy G, this is kind of that downside. Threw for almost 300 yards, 2 interceptions, though, against an Atlanta team who on defense isn't that special. But Atlanta just had a perfect game plan. I mean, they got up early. They go up 14 in the first quarter. Atlanta strings along, and then boom, you shut out San Francisco the second half. Atlanta scores that third quarter touchdown, which put them up. So that's a good win. I know it's at home, but the San Francisco 49ers, to me, were a top, 7 team in our rankings last week. Tough loss for them. Tough loss. Really.
Well, you know who almost won me a crap ton of money over the weekend?
Who?
Did you see what Woodward Sports put out on Twitter?
Yeah, and I comment on it. Your bets suck. Do
I saw
better.
the parlay.
I had a parlay.
I don't want to hear it.
Fish, shut up. God, you're gonna get me canceled because how frustrating you are. So
You just got to hold your composure.
I took the Bengals -3. Took them with the points.
Okay.
Took Joe Burrow over 250 yards. Dalton under 202 yards. Kamara over 34.5. Chase over 82.5 yards, and then Chase plus 125. $20 would have paid out $1,200. Wow. Every single one of them hit. Except Alvin Kamara on the over yards. And he had 6 receptions. 6 catches, only 25 yards. He couldn't get past 33.5.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was that
Can't
kind of
make
weekend.
that up. No, yeah.
It was that kind of weekend.
So that's just unfortunate. But Fish will tell you stink at betting.
Yeah, it's fine. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, though, return to form, beat the Saints on the road.
Jamar
a good
Chase
road
return
win.
to form, too.
Jamar Chase looks like he's back.
Yeah.
Bengals looking good. Good win. Good for
win
them.
at New Orleans.
The Rams, kind of a get-right game against a coachless
they had
team
to win that
in
game.
Carolina, but they were ugly.
Matt Stafford, another pick 6.
It's his shoulder. Shoulder hurts.
It's an elbow. I
I
don't
don't know.
shoulder.
I don't like it. I don't like the Rams this year, obviously.
He's
You
not
guys know I feel
comfortable.
about the Rams.
No.
But the truth is, they don't do anything well. Cam Akers now will be traded. He will no longer play for the team. Darrell Henderson is not some stout running back.
They have Malcolm Brown
They
back.
have no offensive line. It's just Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson, God bless him, had his first good game with the Rams, but the Rams aren't any good. Seattle beats the Cardinals at home. Seattle find another way to win. Cardinals drop to 2-4. Cliff Kingsbury is going to be on the hot seat. But you know what they do have? They have a short week coming up. And they got DeAndre Hopkins coming back.
They play Thursday.
Thursday night
Fantasy
football.
owner, stand up.
Arizona Cardinals. New Orleans Saints. Thursday night football.
Which Amazon did promise a better game.
It's going to be a good game. I'm
we'll
excited. Matchup of the weekend everybody was looking forward to, Jeff. Buffalo, Kansas
What a
City.
football game.
Josh Allen.
Played out exactly.
I still think Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
I would agree.
But Josh Allen laid claim to his stake. He really did. He stepped up. Some of the plays he made were borderline unreal, Madden-esque.
The throw,
Von Miller, 2 sacks.
The throw to Knox in the end zone late, dude. That ball were ripped through drywall. I mean, that thing was on a string. So Josh Allen, yeah, he outplayed him. And again, that Patrick Mahomes interception at the end of the game sealed it. But don't forget, it's not about the regular season. It's about the postseason. Patrick Mahomes has his head.
Yeah.
Josh Allen beat him last year in the regular season.
I
So
know.
again, as much as we talked about this, who has more to lose in this game? It's the Bills. They get the win. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's time. This is the time where the Bills beat the Chiefs in the postseason. We got to get there first. Bills look good, though. Von Miller, what a difference. I mean, that pass rush is ridiculous. They got after Mahomes 3 times.
And then you saw Philly dominate Dallas. I know it's 26-17.
How about them Cowboys?
It wasn't a close game. Dallas didn't look good at all. They do get Dak Prescott back, but Philly, Jeff, they're 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Sirianni said after the game, team's still looking to get better. Not happy with where they're at. 6-0. Dominant performance against Dallas, in my opinion. They took the gas off. Let's just be honest. They did.
Mm-hmm.
They took the pedal. They took their foot off the gas pedal, and that's just the reality. But another win for Philly. Chalk it up 6-0. Only undefeated team left in the NFL.
It's finding ways to win. They again, this offense for Philly is at the line of scrimmage, and they showed it. Dominated again. Even Dallas. I mean, Cooper Rush. What was his first 10 pass attempts? 2 of them were interceptions. To all those people out there, and this isn't locally, this is more nationally, that Cooper Rush, the Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott debate, it's over. And I'm glad. I said this on Friday, that conversation's ending Sunday, and it's over. Dak's coming back against the Lions. Oh, wow, of course. His game back is a warm-up game against this Lions defense. It's great to hear that. But Cooper Rush, I mean, this thing was going to end eventually, and we all knew it was in Philly. Philly looks good. I think this is a team that they're different. It's a different roster than Pittsburgh, but I think they can have that similar success. Maybe not postseason, lack of success, but when Pittsburgh started out 11-0, I really do believe it. Look at Philly's schedule coming up. They have the Steelers, the Texans, Commanders, Colts, Packers, Titans. Maybe, you could really say 2 of these games are going to be close. Maybe Packers. I would say Titans is probably the toughest game.
But it's the NFL. They'll lose 1 or 2 games.
We'll see.
I'd be shocked
they
if they
have
go
the
all the
most
way
They look like a
undefeated.
team that's going to finish the year 14-3 or 13-4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Damn good football
That's the
team.
reality.
We'll see if Jalen Hurts. This team's going to go as far as Jalen Hurts takes them. That's the reality of it.
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
They got some
pieces on offense,
pieces.
man. They really do. The defense, Darius Slay, another interception yesterday, by the way. Shout out to Darius Slay.
It's crazy.
Stop it, Jeff.
He used to be a former Lion, didn't he?
All right, and then we got to talk about Baltimore blowing their 3rd 10-point lead of the season.
Who said Baltimore was going to win? No, nobody? Okay.
We're not feeling
Cool.
that one, Fish. No, I'm just joking.
He said they were going to hammer the Giants. They didn't hammer anything.
24-20. Brian Dable on the upset, and the Giants finding ways to win. I'm not sure how they won this game. I'm really not. Baltimore were in control for a majority of the game. I had Baltimore winning, obviously, going in, of course, but Brian Dable. You guys do me a favor, by the way. I know you don't care for the coaching part of things, right? You care about how coaches make you feel. Go throw up Dan Campbell and Brian Dable. Throw it up on a side-by-side. Go watch their post-game press conferences. See the difference. And I'll leave it there. You want to see the difference? Go to the press conference. That'll tell you everything. Not the, oh, yeah, man, we're close, man. I was feeling really good about those chances, man. We just got to execute, man. Brian Dable, well-spoken. One of the more well-spoken coaches in the NFL at the moment. 5-1. And nobody expected it.
New York Football Giants!
If you would have told me before the game, Adam, that Daniel Bellinger, I believe he's a 3rd-round pick, would lead the team in receiving yards with 38.
Wait, they only threw the ball for 38 yards? Their leading receiver at 38 yards? And they won? Well, they have a better roster, Jeff, right? It's not like the Lions have a better quarterback, an even backfield, way better wide receivers, a much better offensive line. That doesn't matter. We only look at the defensive side of the ball, right? Yeah, I know. Must be nice. Must be nice rooting for an NFL team that, I don't know, overachieves, has players that play above their level. Must be nice. Not sure what that is here in Detroit. Pathetic. Pathetic. Fun. Let's go to the Woodward Sports Chat, see what the people think. Adam, you keep saying it's not time to fire him, but bringing up reasons he should be, and then yelling at people who defend DC at all. What do you want to keep just... all right, Alex. Alex, do me a favor. Shut the hell up, number one. Number two, listen very carefully. You're not going to fire Dan Campbell going into Dallas or post-Dallas. That's not happening. You can have a conversation with me about firing him legitimately after Buffalo. Because if the team has not recovered and played well, he's coaching for his job right now.
Yeah.
If they continue to suck, he continues to make mistakes, you fire him after Buffalo. And then you give Dan the rest of the season, or excuse me, Dan. You give Ben Johnson the rest of the season. You go look for a head coach if you don't believe it's Ben Johnson. It's that simple. But no, you don't fire him 5 games into the year. Not at all.
Yeah.
And think about it. Who was just fired out in Carolina? Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
8-14 through his first 22 games. Think about that. 8-14.
And without he didn't have a franchise quarterback.
You would have to win 7 of your next 10 games. Or excuse me, you'd have to go 7-10 over your next 17 games to match the record Matt Rule had when he was fired. Think about that.
Yeah, you got to give Dan at least a chance here. And I'm with you. We agree there.
I'm not giving him a chance. He's coaching for his job. That's not giving him a chance. That's the reality.
Well, if you weren't, you'd fire him right now.
I'm not going to fire him, though.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to fire him.
Right. So give him a chance. Give him the rest of the season. Go figure it out.
Yeah, but giving him a chance just because,
go see if you can fix the defense. Or at least help AG fix the defense.
Yeah.
Because that's how they're going to win some games. It's context does matter. How Dan manages the games going forward
There's just
is going
always
to be factored
excuses,
in.
man. There's always excuses. Somehow, some way, we're not good enough. Yada yada yada. Our injuries, our defense, our this, our that. It's always something. That's how you go 65 years, guys, with 1 playoff win. When we get back, will the Detroit Lions regret not hiring Robert Saleh? We'll do that in just a bit. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Guys, let me tell you about Cintron, because if you're waking up in the morning and you need something to get you through the morning, I got Cintron for you. It's the official energy drink of the Red Wings, which are winning at the moment, by the way. Cintron has combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free, all in 1 pack. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Has summer left you feeling a little chubby? Well, look, Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com or give them a call today at 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN. Oh, favorite time of the year. 5 games in, the season's already over.
God.
Favorite time of the year.
Bearer of bad news. Look at you.
Oh, God. Will the Lions end up regretting not hiring Robert Saleh? That is a jam-packed question.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I'll let you start because, to be honest, I think I'm going to surprise you with my answer.
No,
so I'll let you go first.
I'm not on this one. I don't think so. I think right now, although I was for Robert Saleh before, because obviously no one knew where Dan Campbell came from. I mean, no one, he wasn't even in the conversation. It was Robert Saleh, Arthur Smith, I believe even Brandon Staley was interviewed, if I'm not mistaken. My pick was Robert Saleh for a lot of reasons. Obviously, the local factor, a guy, because he kind of brought a lot of the same qualities that Dan Campbell brought. But I don't even think Robert Saleh with this roster would be, overachieving. I think maybe you get one more win, but still, I'm not here to say, well, this coach or this coach with this roster would do this. There's too many hypotheticals because think about it. If Robert Saleh was hired, Ben Johnson, I don't think he would not be the OC. It would be Mike LaFleur, who's actually a really good OC. It would be different staff. It'd be a different team. I'm not going to go that far yet. I'm not. Listen, I like Robert Saleh a lot. I think he's a good head coach. I think the Jets are on the upswing. Very positive things coming out of New York. But I'm not going to go that far and say I'd rather have Saleh over Dan Campbell.
Let me ask this. Let me ask
fair
this
right now.
Okay, two-parter.
Okay.
Start in the poll. Pin this to the poll. Top of the poll chat, please. Sorry, Alex. Pin to the poll over at woodwardsports.com. I want you all at home to answer this. Do you believe Dan Campbell will turn things around? Simple yes or no. That's for the chat. Now, for all of you at home or on the road, wherever you may be listening, the chat is free. Go to woodwardsports.com. Go to the chat, and I want you to write to me a one-sentence explanation. That's all I'm asking for, one sentence. I will read them if you follow the rules. Give me one reason that is football-related on why you believe Dan will turn it around. Not because of feelings, not because of injuries, not because, he makes me feel good. The way he talks, he's motivating the players like him. None of that. Football, what football impact, football acumen does he bring? You have one sentence, go for it.
I'll say, can I give my answer?
Go for it. You actually have an answer for this one?
Football related, I would say, because again, this is the thing that I have to at least give credit for. If we're going to fault Dan for how they play defensively, we have to give him credit for how they play offensively. So again, if you can fix this defense, whether it's scheme, whether it's lack of talent, whatever it is, if this defense can play 1% better, they can win some games. Because this offense has shown us, besides the New England game, they can compete, even on the road against Minnesota. So, but here's the caveat. Because yes, if they could turn the defense around, and not saying a complete 180, but at least improve it, he can turn it around. But are you confident in his in-game decision making? Because I don't think that's going to change. And that's the caveat. So the answer to the question, he can, but am I confident in his in-game decision making? No. Because even if the defense plays a slightly better, how do you trust Dan like you saw against New England on 4th and 9 in those type of situations? That could ultimately lead you to lose ball games. That's my it's a tough answer. I'm not going to say confidently yes, but he can. Because offensively they've shown so far, besides New England, they can score with the best of them.
Well, let's go to the people. Southpaw Slabs. I have no reason to believe this, but I do believe Dan will turn it around. I could give you a ton of reasons why he'll turn it around. Okay, Philippines, go for it. Waiting for you, bud. Okay, but other than 4th down decisions in the Minnesota game, were the reasons they were in the game, lol. Okay, guys, I think you forget something very important about the NFL. You are held accountable for wins and losses. The Lions controlled Dallas early on. You all remember that playoff game?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they controlled Minnesota. They couldn't stop scoring against Seattle. And the reality is, there's no football reason, for me at least, on why I should believe in this guy. He's made mistake after mistake after mistake, and just when you thought, all right, there's no way he's going to go for it more than 4 times on 4th down this week, he follows it up with 6. He can't get out of his own way. He doubled down last Monday after the New England game saying, you know what, I know we were 0 for 6, but we liked all of those looks. Those were all good looks for us. I haven't, here, this is a great one from Noah. The reason he could, quote unquote, turn it around is because he is a leader. I don't need a leader. I need a football coach.
Well, most coaches are leaders.
I need a football coach.
That's how that works. Yeah.
I need a football coach right now. That is what's holding back this team. I need a football coach, not a guy that makes everybody in the locker room happy or makes them feel good. That's not stopping him from going for it on 4th down an excessive amount of times. That's not stopping this dipshit from kicking an onside kick. That's not stopping this dipshit from calling a timeout before half against Philly. That's not stopping this dipshit from going against his own habits and trying to win the game against Minnesota. Oh no, he settles for a field goal. That would still keep it a one-possession game, knowing that if they missed, he would give them the ball at midfield with no timeouts. Wow. I'm so confident. Let's go to the people. Do you believe Dan Campbell will turn things around? 54% of you say no, you don't. And I'm shocked.
I like this comment. Young Jalapeno, he gave his reasons on WoodwardSports.com. I think he'll turn it around because, 1, players have rested and are more healthy. 2, we'll have Jamison Williams. 3, he's coaching for his job. 4, players are playing for contract
extensions. None are related to coaching. That's good points, young Jalapeno.
Football
Great
reasons
name.
Not related to Dan individually.
None of them have anything to do with coaching football.
Besides desperation, but that's not even related to football X's and O's. So, yeah, you're right on that. I mean...
Adam, if you look at the stats, he's outscored opponents in the second half 34-17.
Right.
Adam,
did
you know that there is no statistical data, let alone coaching examples that you could bring to me and say, that is why I'm confident?
Yes.
Maybe Anthony Lynn's situation last year, how he fired him, let him on, yada, yada, yada. But is he going to do that to Aaron Glenn? I don't think so.
No.
So that's off
unless
the
it
table.
gets very ugly. I think he will, but I don't think so either. We'll see.
Unreal.
It's funny
we're
because...
not firing Dan. Get over it. Says I'm salty. No, you're not firing Dan right now. Nobody's saying fire Dan right now. But the reality is you will be firing Dan Campbell if they win one of their next 5 games. If they're sitting there at 2-8, you're probably firing him. And if they're sitting there at the end of the year 3-14, you're probably firing him.
Mm-hmm. I love this question.
Hilarious.
I love it. Not really a question. It's more so a statement.
Go for it.
Let me find it first. He said, "No, I can't find it now." Well,
let's take a quick break.
When I find it, I will say
find it during the break. Let's take a break. When we get back, we got to talk about Monday Night Football. Who you got? Fantasy football. You know it. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Well, guys, if you want to talk about an actual good defense that has talent, it's Guardian Alarm, because they are going to take care of you, especially in the wintertime, because now you're still spending a little bit of time outside, but once you go indoors, you want protection. And Guardian Alarm brings that. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Jeff, did you find that comment, by the way?
I did.
Right,
Matthew Kruger says, Jeff and Terry are way too positive. about everything they talk about.
I wouldn't even look into that. Don't even
No,
worry
it's
about
funny.
that. Just say whatever. Just keep saying what you want to say.
It's funny. Either we're too negative or we're too positive.
Don't let anybody
there's never
influence
an
you.
in-between.
No, never.
Never
I mean, I've
an
been doing this
in-between.
long enough. I just laugh at it. It's funny.
You gotta have thick skin.
Guys,
you don't
here,
have thick skin, you
let
can't
me
work
give
here.
you
Okay,
actual
it's cutting
data.
me off.
Okay. All right. Actual football
So
data.
I'm gonna come to Dan Campbell's defense right now.
All right.
I am. I will give you data where we could have a legitimate conversation about whether or not I would support him. Fair?
All right.
Because no one's brought data to me. All I hear are reasons about feelings and why they
faith.
like him, and they have faith in him. Well, let me tell you this. All right. Through 22 games, Dan Campbell's 4-17-1. Jeff, who I've been harping on all day about, who's been my guy. Dan Campbell.
Oh, clear the sheet.
Is, according to the history of the NFL, Marty Morningwig. Did you trust Marty Morningwig 22 games into his NFL career? How about all of you that were old enough can date back for that one? So he has as many wins as Marty Morningwig and 3 less wins than Rod Marinelli did through his first 22 games. Think about that.
That's rock bottom. Talk about rock bottom. No pun intended. That's rock bottom of this Lions franchise. Those two
Joe
guys.
Judge had 7 wins. Freddie Kitchens had 6.
Oh my gosh.
Joe Judge had 7. You know what company Robert Saleh belongs in? Andy Reid. 8-15, 8-15.
Isn't he close to his
8-15? Bill Belichick 9-14.
Isn't he close through 2 years than the guy he worked under? What was Kyle Shanahan's record through 2 years?
7-15.
And what is Roberts?
7-15 through 22. Both 8-15 through 23. Again, 56% of you believe that Dan Campbell will turn it around. None of you have brought up any football-related reason or data to suggest why you believe in him. You just tell me that I should believe in him, shut my mouth, and not say anything about Dan Campbell because it's not fair. That's all you're telling me. That's all you guys are telling me. I'm telling you he's literally, statistically Marty Morningwig. That's who he is. He's Marty Morningwig through 22 games. And you have the gall to sit up here and talk to me like that. Kick rocks.
I love this comment too. Bob Johnson on WoodwardSports.com. Saleh has had 3 first-round picks this year. Talent matters. So wait, wasn't youth one of the excuses?
Jeff,
I was told youth was an issue with the Lions. They have many picks, first and second-year players that are contributing for the Jets. So listen, I get it. I get what you're saying, Bob, but that's coaching. Those players are making an impact right away. So I get it.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's move on.
And they didn't pick someone that was injured. Not a shot at Brett Holmes, but we'll see with Jameson Williams.
Whatever, man. Monday Night Football, Broncos, Chargers. Who you got, Jeff?
Ooh, this is ugly, man. This is.
Oh, you think it's a blowout, huh?
No, I think it's just an ugly game.
Oh,
like
really?
I don't want to watch, to be honest with you. But because listen, for me personally, Broncos, any game the Broncos play in, I have no faith
Not
in
Hollywood
it being
Herb?
entertaining. That's just a reality. And the Chargers have been a roller coaster to watch. I'm going to lean Chargers. They're at home. I think right now they're playing better football. Right now, you could say, yeah, they got blown out to the Jags. They don't really have pieces on their offensive line. Rashawn Slater's out. Joey Bosa's out. I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I think it's a 24-20, 27-21 type of game. I think the Broncos score more points, but I'm going to lean Chargers in this one. They get a win at home.
Yeah, Chargers winning a blowout. Broncos can't score. What do I make of this? Chargers 31, Broncos 17. Justin Herbert eats them up. Melvin Gordon hopefully has a good fantasy night. Hopefully Mike Williams doesn't do anything. Maybe there's a chance I win. I doubt it. I'm down 7 points, and I have Melvin Gordon going up against Mike Williams. Pretty done in my big money league, Jeff. It's not looking good for me at all. Well, look, tomorrow we'll get the phones up and running. We'll go to the people. We'll take all of your calls. I'm very curious for what all of you have to say. 57% of you, that was the final poll. 57% of you do not believe Dan Campbell can turn things around for the Detroit Lions. Who knew? Who knew? What a shock. But But let's take a quick break. When we get back, mailbag time. Everybody in the Woodward Sports chat, get your questions in the chat. Jeff and I will answer them all. And we'll be right back. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. They have the chili cheese burger and the bacon blue, which you need to go and try, by the way. Go eat your feelings away. If you're frustrated, you're a Lions fan, head to Big Boy and get some of these amazing foods, which you can see if you're watching on WoodwardSports.com. I'm not even getting to the fries yet, by the way. Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
And we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Mailbag time. Get your questions in the chat. Go Blue asks, why can't we talk about Michigan or the Wings more? Let's talk about winning teams, please.
He's got a point, but we did talk about him, which you can go back and watch.
We gave a half hour to Michigan.
We did.
It's a quarter of the show.
We got to give more time to the Wings this week. If they
I can't wait.
Winning.
I love the fact that the Wings are actually like upbeat, showing progress. 2-0 to start the year. It's a long season, but it's just...
That's all you ask for. That's all you ask for.
That's all you can ask for. Mailbag. We paid Harris because of how he played standing up last year. We drafted Hutch because of how he played standing up last year. So who do we blame, for putting their hands in the dirt, AG or DC? I swear, Funky, I swear to God, I'm with you. I swear to you. I hold head coaches accountable. I'm not in the business of blaming coordinators. I use this example all the time. If Netflix is down 20% in quarter one, are they looking at the head of marketing, the janitor, the developers, or are they looking at the CEO and the CFO? Who are they looking at? Looking at the CEO.
You know what's unreal too? I'm watching the Giants game, and on that last play, at least the game-sealing play by Kayvon Thibodeau, you know what he was standing in?
Shut up.
2-point stance.
Just shut up. Nobody wants to hear that.
Give it a try. Let Aiden Hutchinson stand in a 2-point stance. It's something they need to go to. But that's another conversation.
This is a very good one. Don Thompson says, does Brad Holmes have the power or the authority to fire Dan Campbell? And I would say no.
I think that would be an up-top decision.
Sheila that's her guy. She hugged him and bear hugged him last year after they beat Minnesota for the first time, right? They won their first game. Oh my God, that was unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable, Dan. I love you so much.
And now they're 1-4.
I like this question. John H. Jeff, do they start JMO clock this week or next? I'm going to be honest with you. I'd probably say next. Play him at home against Miami.
I don't think so. I think he's still 2-3 weeks away.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if you want to, but if you had to prefer when he comes back, or at least say if he looks healthy, I'd say play at home. I don't
against Miami.
Yeah, because they go to they play at Green Bay the next week. They play Dallas. If he doesn't come back against Miami,
whether he comes back Swift, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
it's not like you're playing.
Is your head coach going to get out of his own way?
Right. That's probably the biggest.
Is your head coach going to give a defense that you all admit and say is bad, so bad? Is your head coach going to continue to give them a short field to work with, where they have to guard 40 yards instead of 70, 80?
And if you keep losing these games, why play him at all? Like, just keep him healthy.
I don't know about that. I would prefer to see the rookie, but
like, I mean, honestly, at this point, just play him in garbage time. But I think it'll provide a spark to this offense. So I'm all for JMO returning. My guess, I'll say Miami at home. I'll be at the game, so I'm not saying that selfishly. I promise.
There's a rumor going around that the Lions could trade for Brian Burns. Would you trade the Rams pick for him?
Yeah.
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
And to every idiot, and I'm sorry, I love you, Jeff.
Call me an idiot.
It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's on an expiring contract.
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to give up a first-round pick for a guy who may not even re-sign? Kick rocks.
I guess
I'm not giving up a first-round pick. Easy, Spence, whoever the hell it is on this network, whoever it is on social media, kiss my ass. You're not getting Brian Burns. You are not trading a first-round pick for Brian Burns, who is on an expiring deal.
Hold on. Hear me out.
As if you're some contender.
I think the only way
first round pick. I wouldn't give up a first round pick for him. I'd maybe give up a third and a sixth. I'm not giving up a first round pick.
Guy who's had 10 sacks.
I'm not giving up a first round
9
pick.
sacks in multiple seasons. I mean, I get it, but for me, if he would re-sign, I would trade. But you're right. If he's an expiring contract, he's not re-signing. No, hell no. But if that pick is in the 20s, you ain't finding Brian Burns in the 20s. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are though.
You're not.
Yes, you are.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you could do it. They should hire you in the front office, my
guy. Dude, are you being sarcastic with me? He was the 16th overall pick in the draft.
Right.
That's where he went.
Right.
You find players like that. That exists. Are you being sarcastic with me?
I was messing with you.
My leg. God damn it.
I was messing with you.
God.
But still, I like Brian Burns a lot. He would, him on this defense.
I get it. I would like him too. I'd give up a third and a sixth, maybe. I'm not giving up a first-round pick for Brian Burns.
They're hanging up the phone on you. So, I mean...
Carolina is hanging up the phone on me.
Yeah,
sure.
3 and 6.
And there's going to be somebody out there who's contending that would be willing to give up a second, maybe. I don't know about a first, but a second, yeah.
The crazier thing to me is multiple firsts for C-Mac. I don't think Christian McCaffrey's worth multiple
BS.
first-round picks.
There's no running back in the NFL worth multiple first-round picks.
No.
Oh, God. Let's see. What else we have here? The only way the Lions should trade for any of the Panthers players is if they can rework a contract before the deal. Ooh, I want Chin if we take someone. Interesting lines. Or Funky. Interesting. How about Derek Brown? No, they're not trading Derek Brown, guys. Again, they're looking to move a few players and keep some of that foundational core that they have there. They have a good defense. J.C. Horn, you have pieces, so I don't think they're looking to blow it up completely. Let's see what else we have here. People in Detroit have given up on our proven talent, put way too much What? I have no idea what that means, Matthew. I wish I could read off your comment, but English, preferably. What if Diggs, Saleh, and Stafford come back to Detroit? What if no?
Yeah.
How about never? Please, God, no.
Guys,
we're done. Past that.
Yeah, this is looking at your ex-girlfriends. That's
like you dating someone for the first time. You're both 18 years old. 3 years go on. She gets pregnant 7 times in those 3 years, some way, somehow. All right. She has 5 kids, 6 kids, and then you go back and you say, "Oh well, you know what? Let's get married, honey. Let's go back to what we used to be." You can't. Jeff, do you think Adham is a man of honor? He hasn't paid on the BYU. Adham, you still think Hutch and USC are good? I do think USC is very good. They were the underdogs in that game. I'm not losing sleep over USC. Damn good Utah team. Jeff, do you think? Look, I got to do it eventually. I haven't done it, Jesse. I do apologize. Let's see. What else do we have in here? Adham, I'm saying we put too much faith in the draft than signing proven players. Look, I'm sorry. I have to disagree because
it's tough when you see organizations built to the draft and it works.
Everybody does it.
Exactly. So
it's not. I don't want to say it's not hard, but Brad Holmes, draft 1 got you Sewell and St. Brown. That's a check mark for a good draft.
Right.
The second draft, to be determined 5 games in, you want to see more out of Hutch. He's been disappointing. You still have J-Mo. You still have Pascal you haven't seen. Kirby Joseph could be nice. Who knows? All right. If after 2 seasons Dan Campbell's record is 6-27, he's not turning it around, someone will take him and to probably be the best tight end coach alive. I don't buy that. I think Dan is just out of his scope. He has no idea what he's doing as a head coach. I know Sheila and the Fords probably don't want to own up to their mistake, number 1, and 2, paying him the severance that it'll take to get rid of him, but the reality is it's not looking good right now. It just isn't.
And this is a great comment, by the way, and this is something I've talked about previously. It's a little theory I have. Nolan Johnson, if the Lions fire Dan Campbell, they would have 3 head coaches on payroll. They won't do it. So he gets to keep coaching.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's kind of something that not a lot of people are talking about. They're still paying Matt Patricia. And they're going to be paying Dan Campbell.
I like what Broder said in the chat.
Tough.
Pay Calvin before buying out Campbell. No, 100%.
I'm with you there.
All right, let's call it there. Thank you all. It was a great Monday show. Appreciate it.
I got to give Sam Flannel his flannel back.
Yep. Congrats to all the Michigan fans over the weekend. Hell of a game from your football team. Jim Harbaugh, my goodness. We will see you guys tomorrow. Check out Big D Energy at 11 o'clock. Thank you as always. We appreciate it. Goodbye.
Go enjoy Monday. We're going to be League World Cup, more football. How do you not?